Well, hello and welcome to Black Entrepreneur Institute Live. We are back with you for another amazing show tonight. And I am Cedric LaFleur. I'm going to be like your MC, your host, your DJ, all of that tonight, right? And I'm here with our founders, Miss Angela Hooper Minifield, Dr. Nicole Rankin, and Damian Johnson. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing awesome. Doing awesome.
Well,
Excellent.
that
We're
is
ready.
awesome. Well, we have a great show planned for you tonight. It is the fourth Tuesday, and you know what that means? That means we have an amazing teenage business owner who is blazing the entrepreneurial trail, and I'm so excited to hear her tonight and have her share her wisdom with our audience. So if you have a teenager that's out there, call them to the computer and put them on your TV screen and listen in tonight, because they're going to learn a lot tonight. So I have my hat on. Yes, it says Steelers, but it's really Christmas. This is the week we're celebrating the Christmas holidays.
'Tis the season.
Absolutely. And that means presents. Right now, let me tell you what, guys, this time of the year is my favorite time of the year, right? I'm like a big kid on Christmas Day. I love seeing all the gifts under the tree, but especially my gifts. I'm always, during the week of Christmas, I'm always looking under the tree to see what gifts have my name on it. I mean, you guys may think I'm kidding, but I'm really not. My family knows we won't have Christmas Day without gifts under the tree for me. So I even do myself a favor and I buy a few just to make sure.
Only Cedric.
That's the way to do it. Got to have your guarantee.
Absolutely got to have a guarantee just in case somebody slipped up. But on a serious note, I hope everyone is going to have a happy holiday season and enjoy time with friends and family and loved ones and all of that type stuff. But as we look to close out the year, it's just amazing how productive this year has been, even during this time of pandemic, right? And here's one thing that, as I was getting prepared for this show, do you guys realize that tomorrow will be 1 year? We sat down December 23rd of 2019, and we had our very first conference call to discuss the idea. And back then, Angela called it the Millionaire Mastermind, right? And so, but here's what happened from that meeting. We said our why was to help people feel encouraged and motivated, right? Help like-minded people. We wanted to help Black entrepreneurs feel encouraged and motivated about their business. We wanted to help them grow their business. We wanted to help them be surrounded by like-minded people. And now we are a year later. And here's some of the things that we said, because I was looking at the notes that I wrote down from this. It's amazing, but it's still sitting on my table in my breakfast area. And we said that here's what we want to accomplish in 2020. We want to have a group of about 6 to 8 people, and we could add more people later. We said that we wanted to then take that group and grow it to something else. And here's what it's morphed into. It's amazing. The Black Entrepreneur Institute is what it's morphed into. All right. It's morphed into a weekly live show on the Empowered Living platform. So thank you, audience, for tuning in every week. It's morphed into an 8-week boot camp for entrepreneurs. And we've already graduated 2 groups of people through the 8-week boot camp. And then it morphed into the BEI Emerald private group, right? For people that go through the boot camp, they graduate, but they still want ongoing coaching, mentoring, training, being around like-minded people, right? Can you guys imagine we've accomplished all of that in 1 year?
Wow. That's just amazing. I mean, we think about where we've come from to where we are now. It's just really incredible. And Cedric, when I hear you go through that list, and when I think about where we were when we started, the thing that comes to mind for me is the power of yes. Because this started because Angela had an idea and she gave it a yes. She reached out to me, I gave it a yes. She reached out to you, it was a yes. And Dr. Nicole said yes. And when we started off, we didn't know that we would be here right now, but it's because we said yes. First, yes to a dream, and then yes to taking action, and yes to moving forward. And then we begin to attract the people and the conditions and the circumstances that has led to this evolution. And I just feel honored to be a part of this this movement that we're creating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Nicole, not to cut you off, but Cedric, the thing that I also remember from that conversation was we all said we wanted to use our platform to elevate other businesses and other people's platform. And of course, we've done a lot of remarkable things over the last year, but that's also one of the things I'm most proud of, because we operate with a spirit of generosity, a spirit of growth, a spirit of abundance. We're not competitive. We don't see other people who even operate in the same lanes as us as competition. We want to help the economy and do so by empowering and equipping and elevating Black businesses. And so I'm just really proud of what we've been able to do. And I hope this feeds across other platforms, right, where people are not envious and thinking about, well, if I support that, then who's going to support me? Just support.
Right.
And so, and I could even add, and then I'll turn it over to you, Nicole, that all of our individual platforms have grown. And I think a lot of it still started here, because had we not did this show, I don't know if we would have the Cedric LaFleur Network. I don't know if Nicole would be on some of the, what's the name of the youth platform you're on now, Nicole? I can't remember.
Adulting My Purpose.
No, that youth platform that you started doing back in November.
Oh, Hype?
Hype, right.
Hype. Okay.
But like some of those things I think are all because people saw us. Cedric and I have radio shows. People saw us. So like BEI, while it's done a lot for that, it's also helped all of us. I see Damien with accountability programs. I mean, it's just helped all of us morph. And so we have a lot to be proud of in the last year.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And I totally agree. And as Angela was speaking, I was thinking about the quote that says, the more you help other people get what they want, the more you get what you want. And it's all about the universal law of you give. It's better to give than to receive. And that's what we had set out to do. And it's just amazing that when you take that type of stance and going down that path, that the doors open to like things that you would never even imagine, and it can take you places, and you attract things that, like, again, I didn't think I would have a TV show. I don't think I would have a network. And so it just opened the doors when you put yourself in a position to help other people. It's just a bountiful blessing, and it just comes back return for yourself. So it is an honor to be with each and every one of the founders, and to I'm excited just to even see what the new year is going to bring. The doors have opened so much, and God has been faithful just even within, the last year. But imagine, as we say, the best is yet to come. So I'm excited about that.
Absolutely. And so, tonight is about a teenage business owner, right? And this is part of our mission, really, is to help teenagers put their business out there for the world to see, put it on the stage for everybody to see. So tonight we have a dynamic teenage business owner with us tonight, Miss Brooklyn Simone Sibley, founder of Crowned Bee Boutique. Now, Brooklyn, let me introduce Brooklyn, and then you guys can say hello and love on her. So Brooklyn Sibley is a 16-year-old entrepreneur and honor roll student from the great city of Lake Charles, Louisiana, my hometown. Yep. She enjoys playing basketball and running track. She is the treasurer of the NAACP Youth Council, the Lake Charles chapter. She enjoys baking, watchmaking, spending time with her family, and most of all, she enjoys learning how to be a boss. I love that. Well, hello, Brooklyn.
Hello.
Well, welcome to the show. We're excited to have you here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So I'm just going to start off with a couple of questions, Brooklyn, and then our panelists will also have a conversation with you. So tell our audience, what is Crown Bee Boutique?
It's a business that I started a couple months ago to help females with being pampered like me. I like to buy hair products and makeup and just want females to feel comfortable with buying my products.
Awesome. And so help us understand why. I know you like to wear makeup and be made up, but why is that something that you felt was important now especially for youth your age?
I feel like women want to feel pretty, I would say, and just want to do a little extra with themselves. And I know me, I like to think of how I want to help my customers, how I want to be helped with the things that I like. So I just looked more into that and wanted to start business with hair and makeup.
Awesome.
So Brooklyn, I first just want to say congratulations, and it is definitely an honor and privilege to meet you here in person tonight. So I heard you say, and correct me if I'm wrong, that this is a business you started a few months ago, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So walk me through the grit and the focus, because a few months ago, we were in the middle of COVID. And, unfortunately, still dealing with it, right? So most people were running away from business. You decided to start a business. So help us understand how you had the confidence that this was the right time to launch.
It was stressful. I can agree to that. I didn't think that the process will be fast. I knew it was going to be a slow process, like you said, with COVID, and then in Louisiana, with us having a hurricane, it was very stressful, but I still went through the process of starting my business.
Mm-hmm. And so and thank you for the reminder. And, and again, we want to continue to send our support and love to Lake Charles, because we know that a few months ago, hit traumatically during that, those storms.
Yes, ma'am.
What were your influences to being an entrepreneur, and then again, just keeping you focused through all that was happening in that time to move forward with starting a business?
It really was my mom that influenced me, because watching her when she started her very first business, it wasn't always easy, but seeing where she is now makes me want to push to become my own business owner.
I love that. And you are speaking so much to the fact that I think we've seen, and if for our regular viewers, it has not failed yet, that every time we bring a youthpreneur on, they always speak to the value of family and the support that they've received. So kudos to your mom as well, Brooklyn. Thank you for that answer.
Thank you.
I love it. Well, Brooklyn, as a woman, I can understand wanting and desiring to be pampered and loving your decision to go into that direction to helping women feel beautiful and pretty about themselves. So, as a young person, you're dealing with a lot. We talked before about you doing basketball, and in your bio, you heard about you doing a lot of things. So how do you balance, being a youth now and now being an entrepreneur?
It can be stressful at times, especially being a student athlete, going to school, then having practice. I usually take my time out on the weekends to focus more on my business, because I don't really go anywhere, especially during this time. It's nothing really to do. So I focus more on my weekends.
I love it. I love it. And then, so what do you do for fun? I know we're in a time where we're dealing with still dealing with the pandemic, but for you, what do you do for fun?
I like to go shopping. Really, with my mom. We like to do like girl nights, like spend time during the day. I like to hang out with friends.
Yeah.
I like to bake. It's very fun to bake and get my mind off of things.
I love it.
That's awesome. Hey, Brooklyn, I really love your message. And, as a father of two young girls, I love anytime I see anything that has to do with empowering the beauty and the essence of women, because I'm much more in touch with that now that I have daughters. So one of the things that we've discovered when we have these shows where we interview teen entrepreneurs is that most of them typically have someone who has inspired them. Who would that be for you? Who is your major source of inspiration as you've stepped into this world of entrepreneurship and are now running your business for the last few months?
Again, would have to say my mom. Just watching her as I grew up, where she started being a young mother and wanting to start somewhere. She knew that things weren't always given to her, but she always pushed for success.
Wow, that is awesome. And this is another question I love to ask is, what would you say are two, maybe three things that makes you unique and sets you apart from the crowd?
With the generation that I am in today, just watching my young peers or being around them, I would have to say that I'm a very humble individual and I'm quite respectful. I don't like to go out a lot. I like to focus on my business and making money, honestly. Because I see a lot of kids nowadays, they're like more on the lazy side and they just like to party and just be with their friends, and being a teenager, you don't really think. You just want to go have fun and don't think about, stuff like that. And another thing I would have to say is that I'm more aware of, how can I put this in a way? I'm more aware of, more mature for my age is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, well, that certainly shows, because you said that you are focused, you handle your business, and you're willing to put the work in. And I think those are characteristics of all successful entrepreneurs. So for you to have the level of maturity and awareness that you have right now, Brooklyn, we know that this is only the beginning. Cedric?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And here's the thing, Brooklyn said that she's more mature for her age. And, I've had the benefit of growing up with her grandparents, and, I know that they're serious. They're not playing either. So all of their grandkids are probably very mature and serious about being productive in life. They are families that have growth mindset and want to accomplish things in life. So it just rubs off, right? They always say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. That's it right there, right, Brooklyn?
Yes, sir. I can agree to that.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your products at Crown B. What can I buy? Well, I'm a guy, and we're going to talk about men products too in a little bit here. I'm going to ask you a question around that. But what if someone goes to your website? Tell us your website name, and then what could they buy?
Well, down below you can see that it says Crown B. I focus more on makeup products like eyelashes, lip gloss, and hair products like wigs, hair extensions, and basically braiding hair for box braids and things like that.
Okay. All right. So then I can go and get some hair extension. Don't laugh, Damien.
I have thought about adding men products later on through the process. I have thought about that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, guys, we don't want to be left out. We like to look good too. So that'll be perfect. And see, here's the thing, Brooklyn, just between me and you, and nobody else will hear this. Test it out on your grandfather first.
He's so supportive, he just might let.
I love it. I love it.
So Brooklyn, so they can buy makeup, hair extension products. You said lipstick.
Yes, sir. Lip gloss.
Lip
Lipstick.
gloss. Okay. Lip gloss. And so I know that eyelashes are a big thing with people your age right now, right? So tell me, what's the excitement about getting these eyelashes? Now, this is from a guy that, I don't wear eyelashes, but
I actually have one right now. I feel like it's an addition to makeup. When you wear makeup, it just finishes it off. So I like to wear eyelashes a lot. And I honestly, myself, I don't wear makeup a lot, but I feel like lashes are considered, and it's just a little plain, but it makes me look good.
Okay.
So I have dabbled a little in eyelashes, so I can definitely say that I resemble that remark, Brooklyn, that I feel the same way. I don't use them often, but definitely for special occasions. And so being a young person and growing up in a time and space where you've always probably been exposed to social media, and now that you have a business, I'm sure that's another platform for people to connect with you. But in general, have you experienced any less than positive feedback or criticisms for just stepping out here in your own brand and doing your own thing? And if so, how have you dealt with that?
I most definitely went through hate comments and just people just giving off negative vibes. Growing up, especially now in high school, teenagers can be very mean. I'm pretty sure y'all can agree with growing up too. I try not to let it bother me, especially being a female growing up during this time. You can't let people get to you because then it'll be like they're winning. So I just try to brush it off and don't not let it faze me.
Good for you. And that's exactly the way to go, because it's always going to be some negative energy in the world and you have to stay positive. But I'll also tell you, it's not just teenagers. Adults are mean too.
So Brooklyn, I think this will be an interesting question. I love to hear how people respond to this one. So if you could have a book named after you, tell me what the title would be and tell me what the summary of your book would say about you.
I thought of How to Sting Like a Bee. Mainly for females, you have to be strong-minded in a world like this and just basically give off a background of how I got to where I am today and starting a business and just telling everyone, if I could do it, you could do it too.
Wow, I love it. How to
sting like a bee. I love that.
Hey, we know about them queen bees.
That's it. And so speaking of, Brooklyn, and talking about being a boss, you said you're learning how to be a boss, and being a business owner, we want to be unique and special. So what are two or three qualities that you have that kind of set you apart from the crowd in your business and what you're doing?
I'm antisocial, so I think that's a big part now. Like I said, I like to make money on my off time instead of going out and hanging out with friends. That's the only word I could think of now instead of two things, big parts that I could think of right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I like that. So here's the way I see that as a business owner myself. Highly focused and very intentional, right? And that's really what you need to be in business to be successful. You have to be highly focused and be very intentional about everything that you do. So I don't even look at it as being antisocial. It's you're highly focused on the art of building your business. And you're very intentional about every step that you're taking. So awesome. Kudos to you for that. Now, to our audience, what I want you to understand is Brooklyn started her business during a pandemic. She didn't listen to the no's or the naysayers and say, well, nobody's going to want to buy this right now because we're in a pandemic. Nobody's going to want to do this. Now, here's the thing. Here's what she did also. This is very key and critical. Not only the world in a pandemic, but Brooklyn lives in a city, Lake Charles, Louisiana, that went through one hurricane. 6 weeks later, they went through a second hurricane. And it didn't stop her or discourage her from starting her business and running her business. Right? Now, I want you to make sure that you pick up on that tonight, folks. How many of you have said, I want to start a business, but you gave yourself excuses or alibis why you're not going to start right now? Are you listen to the naysayers? Are you worried about the surroundings, the things that are the circumstances, the things that are happening right now around you and said, no, I'm not going to do it now? Brooklyn's 16 years old and thinking like a business leader and a leader. Here's what I want to do. Here's my plan. And regardless of what's happening, I'm going to still do it. Now, that's amazing. So, Brooklyn, I know that, you're in the middle of high school as well. So what are some ways that you use to market your product?
What do you mean by that?
Okay, so like outside of, I know on your website, it's marketed there, but do you talk to your friends at school to get it? Social media?
I usually use my social media in the help of my mom. With Facebook, she has a lot of Facebook friends, which help me. I usually put the link in my Instagram in my bio, and I usually market on Snapchat as a link.
Okay. All right. Now, the reason I brought that up is because I want people to know that there are a lot of different ways they can reach you to get to your business. Her website is scrolling across the screen. And that's awesome. So what we want to do now is we want to talk to your mom. You said she's your inspiration. Oh, tell us about the object that's sitting next to you there.
Well, since you had your hat on, I'm very excited about Christmas too. So I wanted to bring my nutcracker along with me.
Awesome.
I love it.
The Christmas spirit is here with us tonight. Awesome. So let's talk to your mom. Miss Carrie Goodley is Brooklyn's mom.
Hi.
Hello.
So how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm over here beaming with pride.
I bet you are. Well, you know what, Carrie, anytime we can see our children thriving, right? We're going to beam with pride. But she said a couple of times that her greatest inspiration was you.
Yes.
Right. So having and I know that you're an entrepreneur yourself. In fact, tell us the name of your business.
So I run a financial consulting firm. The name of my business is Goodley and Associates Consulting Incorporated.
Yes. And if you are looking for someone to help you repair your credit, if you're looking for someone to help up level your thinking on putting yourself in a better financial position, you need to reach out to Ms. Carrie Goodley. But Carrie, I know that it's exciting to have a daughter that is thriving like this and following in your footsteps. Help us understand how did you, when she came to you with the idea of starting a business, what was your first thoughts?
Well, my initial thought was just, I'm so excited because opening a business or wanting to be an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of courage. And for someone her age to approach me and say, I want to open a business, but I'm not sure what to do. Okay, now we're going into thinking mode. And I'm thinking to myself, what can I do, or what suggestions can I make to continue to empower her? Because I don't want any negative thinking or anything like that to derail her from her excitement of, hey, I have this idea and I want to be an entrepreneur. Because again, that takes a lot of courage.
Absolutely. And Mary, I love the fact I'm always supportive. I work with youth a lot and love how parents get involved and be that inspiration. And it's just a pleasure to see her say that you are her inspiration. So in thinking about just parents out there, I would imagine, if I myself went to my parents and say, Mom, I have a business idea at her age. My mom was like, yeah, okay, great. Go sit down. So how do you, see your daughter as an entrepreneur, not just as a teenager, but how do you support that venture? Where does that inspiration for you come?
Well, I think it's very important when someone her age approaches you and says, I want to open a business, you nurture that, because that's positive thinking. And her generation, it's a lot of negativity that surrounds them, and they need positive reinforcement. So that was the first thing that I did. I congratulated her on just having the courage to do that. And secondly, we kind of talked about what type of business she would want to open. So when she told me, I know I want to open a business, but I'm not sure what I want to sell or what I want to do, my first question to her was, well, what do you like to buy? What types of things do you like to spend money on? What makes you happy? And that's where I just kind of planted that little seed. And then from there, she evolved the business into what she wanted to sell. So she sells what she likes to buy.
Wow. Carrie, I love that. I love that you had the presence of thought to know that you needed to be the first voice of encouragement to Brooklyn.
Yes.
And I love that you asked that powerful question that I assume from what you just said means that you encourage her to own her own thinking and to not have to follow the crowd, but to do what is unique and passion and that's what's unique to her and what she's passionate about. But talk to me a little bit about the other side of the equation, because I know that as parents, we all want to protect our children, right? So what, if any, reservations did you have about her starting a business?
You're absolutely right. So as a parent, we're always worried about, oh, my baby this, oh, what if my baby fails? But as an entrepreneur, I know she's going to fail. And so my thought process around that was, let her get out there and fail early while she's in my house. So when she gets out into the world and she's on her third or fourth business and she's faced with an obstacle, she won't be so ready to pack up shop and close up her business because she's developed a resilience over time. And I just talk to her all the time. I let her know it's going to be hard as a business owner. It took me about 6 or 7 years as an entrepreneur failing until I got to the point where I was really successful. And that was our thought process around her starting so early. So I said, if it takes you that long to fail, you'll be in your early 20s and be a successful entrepreneur.
Wow.
That's powerful. One of the things we do with the Black Entrepreneurs Institute is we take entrepreneurs through a business boot camp. And what you just spoke into your child's life is truly one of the core messages that we try to instill. And so, Brooklyn, I already know you know this, but I'm just going to say it again. You are so blessed to have your mom speaking this kind of wisdom into your life. And to our audience, I hope you're taking notes, because that is exactly right. That resilience is what will keep us in the game.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this question. It's, as a mom as well, and I have a daughter, and we always got along good. We're close. We're great. And then as she starts, maturing into that adulthood phase, sometimes that balance between being mom and do what I tell you to do, and being a young adult, and now you have a young adult with a business. How have you navigated that terrain between mom, coach / business entrepreneur compadre kind of thing?
It's funny because I was just having this conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and I made the joke that, you know, Brooklyn's 16, but she still likes me at that age, you know, which is it's kind of rare. So Brooklyn kind of spoke on this earlier. I had her young, and I was a single mom for quite a while. So us being together and us being all we had for such a long period of time, it developed a really, really strong bond between her and I. We both trust one another, and she takes my advice, but I also promote, you know, independent thought with her. So I like for her to go, you know, take my advice, but then go and research it and make sure that it's going to work for her, because as she becomes an adult, she's not going to always, you know, do what mommy says. You know, she's going to have to be able to think on her own. So I think that our relationship now, as it always has been, is I just continue to guide her, give her advice. She takes the nuggets that works for her, and I cheer for her when she does well, and I cheer for her when she doesn't do well.
Great answer. Great answer. Look, we could all, as moms and dads, learn a lot from you on that one.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And, you know, Carrie, here, what I love when you said develop resilience over time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so many people, you're absolutely right. So many people, they have that failure and then they just quit and they give up and they say, woe is me. This wasn't meant to be. If it was meant, they start saying that if it was meant to be, God would have made it happen. Instead of, no, God just putting a little step in your way for you to step over it and move on to the next big thing. Right.
Right.
So I love that you're helping her develop that skill set. So what do you think is the next step or evolution for Brooklyn as an entrepreneur?
I see this as being one of, you know, the first of a few businesses for Brooklyn. We've talked about, you know, what she wants to do when she gets older. She's deciding between law and nursing. And we've talked about later on in life, if she gets her nursing degree and becomes a nurse practitioner, opening because she loves makeup. She loves empowering other women through making them feel good about themselves. It doesn't matter what they look like, their shape, their size. She just likes to see a woman feel good about herself. She's really a cheerleader in that aspect. So Brooklyn and I even tossed around the thought of her having a beauty bar, where a place where she would be the chief medical officer there, and you know, do facials, Botox, chemical peels, massages, just having kind of stepping up that beauty and femininity, stepping that up a notch and offering a luxurious location where people can come and buy her makeup, but also be pampered in a spa-like environment.
Wow. Love it.
I'm sold. You just sold me on that one. Carrie, let me ask you this question, right? So you've encouraged Brooklyn, and you've journeyed with her over the last several months to get this business off the ground. What are some things in retrospect, if you look back on the journey, what are some things that you've learned along the way that you could pass on to others who are at the beginning phase of their entrepreneurial journey, particularly parents with teens that have ideas?
I would say to any parents with teens that have ideas, when your teen comes to you with an idea, even if it doesn't make sense to you, nurture that idea, because that's positivity coming from the teen, and give your teen give them the room to fail. I've had to learn that through this process. I'm a very protective mom, and to kind of step back, allow her to make mistakes and not smother her so much, because this is a learning opportunity for her. I know how to run a business, but she's got to do it, because she's got to learn that resilience. And if I smother her so much or do everything for her, she's not really going to learn that. So I would say that to parents, and it's hard as a parent to not smother your child or be so protective, but kind of step back and let them fail.
I love that. I love that. One thing that I like, I know as a 16-year-old girl, and Carrie talked about she's still focused, and she's very, in her words, antisocial. She doesn't like to go out, but being a kid is being a kid. So as an entrepreneur and as her mother, how do you allow her to have that balance between being a teenager, but still being an entrepreneur and still living life for the moment?
We do encourage it here, but I allow Brooklyn to make the choice. So the fact that she is so driven and she is so focused, I don't deter her from that. But if she comes to me and says, Mom, there's a party that I want to go to, I'm like, guess what time? When do I need to bring you? Do we need to pick up friends? So we do promote that because I want her to have, as an entrepreneur, as she gets older, she's going to have to learn how to manage her time. She's going, if she wants to continue enjoying entrepreneurship, she's going to have to develop a healthy work-life balance. And so I want her to kind of practice that now, still have time with your friends, but you know what you're trying to accomplish. So make sure that you're making the time to do that first. And then you can have as much fun as you want to with the remainder of your time after that.
Love it.
Wow. Well, that is that's great that you're trying to help her with that work-life balance. So, Brooklyn, I know that outside of business, you're also an athlete, and so basketball is one of those sports, and track is another sport. So, what are you looking forward to in this basketball season?
Just to have a season. It's good to have a season. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to have a season, so I'm just blessed that we are kind of getting back to normal. So I'm just focusing on that besides the business.
Okay, awesome. Well, we had a former college basketball player on the show just a couple months ago, and she's an entrepreneur. So she's kind of walking that journey that you want to walk as well once you're done with school and maybe college sports or whatever. And then now she's has her business going. So more power to you. Keep forging ahead with your business. Sounds like your mom has been a great business coach for you. So definitely keep that up. Angela, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much. Both Brooklyn and Carrie, you have been a joy to connect with. And before we kind of wrap up tonight's episode, I would just love to, Brooklyn, offer you maybe an opportunity to either just, again, pitch and tell people all the reasons why they need to go to Crown B and also follow you and where they can do those things.
On my Instagram, you can go. It's BrooklynSimone _, and you will see in my bio the link to Crown B. And at times I posted on Snapchat, and with the help of my mom, she posts on her Facebook.
Okay. And Mom, where can we find you on Facebook then? Let's support that business as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm on Facebook. My business page is Goodley and Associates Consulting, and under Facebook, it's just Carrie Goodley, CarrieGoodly, and my website is goodleyandassociates.com.
All right. Well, again, it is always about elevating both mindset and money, and specifically for other business owners. And we target minority business owners. And so both of you are examples of that. So it has been an honor and a privilege to have you both here with us. And again, we thank you.
Thank you as well.
You're more than welcome.
It's always fun to have young entrepreneurs on the show. And folks, I want you to make sure if you have a teenager, in fact, not even just a teenager, a kid, a child, I want you to make sure that you have them. This show is going to replay again right after Christmas on Sunday. And I want you to sit down with them and have them listen to Brooklyn. And then you take the tips from her mother as well. And then apply that for your kids that want to have a business. We don't want to discourage them. We want to encourage them with the support. And that's why we bring these shows to you with teenage entrepreneurs, so you can see other children that are your child's age that's doing it every day, all day, and twice on Sunday. All right. So Brooklyn and Carrie, thank you guys very much for coming on the show. We definitely enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well.
We did. Thank you for the opportunity.
Awesome.
So as we bring today's episode to a close, I would just like to again re-emphasize something Cedric said at the beginning of the show. He talked about what we had accomplished during 2020, and Damien used the phrase, because we said yes. And so we want to offer you guys an opportunity to say yes. As you've been hearing us talk about over the past month or so, our next boot camp is currently open for registration. And there is still time for you to join. We'll be starting in January. And so you can go to the link at www.blackentrepreneurinstitute.com and log on there. Also, you can go to www.blackentrepreneurinstitute.com/bootcamp and get those specific informations. But what we know is those who take action and say yes position themselves to be sitting exactly where we are tonight, talking about, wow, this is what I was able to do with my business, or this is how I was able to take that idea and have it, developed and coached up and be mentored by the four of us in order to take you to a place you've never been before. So again, the only thing that's standing in your way is you. You can have the same results that we've all had over the last 12 months that would be applicable to your business, but it starts with your first yes. And so we encourage you to join us. You know who we are, our character, how much we value entrepreneurship, but also how much we value pouring into other people's businesses. So again, come join us. And Cedric has posted the link. So again, come seek us out, message us, comment on this post. Our ambassadors will give you more information. But again, the only thing that's standing in your way is your yes. So join us for the next boot camp. I also want to just let you guys know that this, again, has been such an awesome year for the Black Entrepreneurs Institute, as well as the show that started over the summer. And so next week, what we have done is pull together some of our favorite moments over the past year. And so make sure you watch so that you can just see some of the things you may have missed if you haven't been a regular viewer. And then that'll give you an opportunity of more things to come. And let's see, we definitely want to, again, thank you guys for everything. We want to thank the EL community, Paul, for your support and belief and endorsement in us when we were just new to this process. So before we close, founders, 30 seconds apiece, because this will be our last live comment for 2020. We'll start with you, Cedric. What do you got to say to the people?
Well, all I want to say is Merry Christmas and go Steelers, baby.
Well, I'm all on the go Steelers, right? That's right. Steel curtain.
Seriously, I want you to make sure that you understand elevating your mindset and elevating your money starts really with you. We're just a conduit to help you with that process, but it all starts with you. Thank you for your support.
Nicole?
Awesome. And I just want to say happy holidays. It has been a tremendous year, but we are here. We're grateful, and we're grateful for you all as well for the support that you have given us at BEI. And we just pray that your continued safety, and hey, say yes. It's time. It's time to say yes. So whatever it is that you've been waiting on, whatever it is that's been stopping you, it's time to say yes. Let's make 2021 the year to remember. Happy holidays.
I'm sorry, Damien.
Awesome. Thank you, Angela. And so friends, we just want to say thank you again for your support and for you trusting us. But I really want you to take this time during this holiday season, take a moment to slow down, get into a quiet place, and to reflect. Has 2020 been what you hoped it would be? And if the answer to that question is not a resounding yes, and you know that you have more potential, there's another gear that you can shift into, then what I would invite you to do is join us at our next boot camp. Join us on the journey, because we want to help you elevate your mindset, your money. We want to coach you. We want to mentor you. We want to see you win, because here at BEI, here's what I can tell you. We believe with everything in us that it's a bigger win when we help other people win. And we want to help you win. So happy holidays. Come join us for the next boot camp so that we can all win together.
All right. Well, that concludes tonight's episode. And thank you, 2020. And we'll see you guys in 2021. Take care.